This isn't just another Panthers video. This is a story you haven't heard yet. An intriguing twist involving an all-pro cornerback, a mastermind defensive coordinator, and a team rebuilding its identity from the ground up. Let's get into it. The spark, a compliment with weight. Over the weekend, something caught fire quietly, but meaningfully. At a speaking event, Panthers defensive coordinator Ejiro Evero was asked about the best players he's ever coached. His response? Rhonda Barber and Jaylen Ramsey. But it wasn't just the name drop. It was what Evero said about Ramsey that raised eyebrows. Jaylen Ramsey's immensely talented, he explained. But what most people don't realize is how intelligent he is. He knows splits, quarterback mechanics, footwork, route concepts. He's got it all. And he'll play corner, nickel, dime linebacker, all in a single game, and never miss a beat. That's not just admiration. That's the kind of praise that hints at more. Mutual respect, and History Ramsey caught wind of the comments. His response? Genuine, heartfelt. Coach E is one of the best. Real ball coach. He's gonna be a head coach one day. Nothing but respect. This is the kind of exchange that makes you pause, because it's not just two professionals being polite. This is a bond forged through war. From 2019 to 2021, Ejiro Evero and Jaylen Ramsey shared a sideline in Los Angeles. The results? 2 all-pro seasons for Ramsey and a Super Bowl ring. They've already tasted success together, which begs the question, could it happen again in Carolina? Look, the fit is obvious. Carolina is building something. Ramsey knows Evero's system like the back of his hand. The team's secondary needs help. The idea of reuniting these two isn't far-fetched, in theory. But in practice, that's where things get complicated. The cap dilemma. Let's talk money. Ramsey signed a monster deal with Miami. $72.3 million over 3 years. That extension hasn't even kicked in yet. In 2026, his cap hit jumps to $25 million. In 2027, it's $26.8 million. In 2028, it rockets up to $36.8 million. And this season alone, the Dolphins owe him $16 million. That's before Carolina would even have a chance to think about picking him up. Now ask yourself, with all the surgical moves new GM Dan Morgan has made just to clear cap space, does it make any sense to drop $25 million right away on a cornerback, no matter how great? The verdict, for now, Ramsey and Evero together again? It's a beautiful idea. A reunion between elite football minds. A storyline any fan could get behind. But it's probably just that, for now, a storyline. Until the contract math changes or the Panthers decide to go all in with a big-name veteran piece, this reunion will remain a what-if. But don't ignore the signals. Because in the NFL, respect like this doesn't fade. It simmers. And sometimes, it sparks again. We already know the emotional connection is real between Jaylen Ramsey and defensive coordinator Ejiro Evero. But at some point, football decisions come down to more than chemistry. They come down to performance and price. Let's be honest, the numbers just don't support a move like this for Carolina. Ramsey is entering his 10th NFL season. He's not the same dynamic force he was 5 years ago. His production? It's trending in the wrong direction. In 2022, he posted 88 total tackles in a full season. In 2024, also a full season, that number plummeted to 60. That's nearly a 30-tackle drop-off. And it wasn't just the tackles. Interceptions? Down. Pass deflections? Down. Solo tackles? Down. 3 years in a row. That's not what you want to see when you're considering handing someone $25 million a year. Especially when that someone is closer to the back end of his career than the peak. Better, younger, cheaper. Now let's talk roster building. If Carolina wants secondary help, and they clearly do, there are younger, more affordable options available. Whether it's safeties like Julian Blackmon or Jordan Whitehead, or corners like Asante Samuel Jr., or even a reunion with C.J. Henderson. Yes, just throwing names out. You can add depth and talent without blowing up your salary cap. Jaylen Ramsey might be a great leader, a tone setter, even a cultural piece. But does he make sense financially and schematically for this version of the Panthers? I don't think so. Not anymore. And I respect if others feel differently. If you're on the bring him in train, I hear you. But from where I'm standing, this isn't the move Carolina needs to make. A shot from the green. PGA Tour's cheap jab at the Panthers now. Speaking of unnecessary moves, let's talk about the PGA Tour's decision to throw shade at our squad. This weekend, the PGA Tour Championship was held at Quail Hollow Golf Club, just 9 miles from Bank of America Stadium. Charlotte showed out. It was a great event, great crowds. Scottie Scheffler took home the win. Props to him, well deserved. But what happened after the tournament? That's what left a bad taste. On both Instagram and Twitter, the PGA Tour posted a graphic that read, "Scottie Scheffler has more wins than the Carolina Panthers since 2022. Seriously? That's what you went with? The caption, "Win in Charlotte." It didn't take long before the post was deleted, and it's worth noting, Panthers owner David Tepper is reportedly a member at Quail Hollow. So, yeah, someone probably made a very uncomfortable phone call. But let's talk about why this matters. Charlotte hosted your championship. This city rolled out the red carpet. Fans showed up. The community embraced the event, and the PGA's social media team responded with a cheap shot at the home team? What's the point? Was someone on the media team a Falcons fan? A Bucks fan? A Saints fan? Because make no mistake, this wasn't accidental. Someone thought that caption was funny, and someone else signed off on it. That doesn't happen by mistake. It's not just about the Panthers' record. It's about respect. And this city, this fan base, deserves it. We can take jokes. We can even laugh at our own team when it's warranted. But when you come into our backyard, host your event here, and then throw shade on the way out? Nah, that's not it. All right, let me get this out of the way first. No, I don't think Scottie Scheffler himself took that jab at the Panthers. The man just won a major championship. I doubt he's spending his Sunday night trolling NFL teams on social media. That was someone on the PGA Tour's media team. Someone with an axe to grind against Carolina. And if I find out who you are, let's just say we're going to have a conversation. Gloves off. But let's move on to some actual good news, because apparently someone does believe in us. In his way too early playoff predictions, Fox Sports analyst Henry McKenna has the Carolina Panthers not just in the playoff picture, but hosting a playoff game as the number 1 seed. 4th seed in the NFC. That's right, home turf, January football, Bank of America rocking. Now, let's unpack what that means. That 4 seed means we win the NFC South. But here's the twist. We're the only NFC South team he has making the playoffs. According to McKenna, if we don't win the division, we're not getting in. And respectfully, I don't buy that. The NFC South might surprise everyone. Let's be real. The NFC isn't that deep this year. Go division by division. NFC East? McKenna has Washington and Philly in. Dallas is Dallas. They'll trip over themselves in Week 17 like clockwork. And the Giants? Please. NFC North? Sure, Detroit looks legit. But Minnesota's turning to J.J. McCarthy. Rookie quarterbacks don't walk into the league and look like Pro Bowlers in September. Sam Darnold held the line last year. This time, expect growing pains. If anyone from the North slides into a wild card, it's probably Green Bay. NFC West? The Rams are still the class of the division. San Francisco is explosive but brittle. Seattle's rebuilding. Arizona is Arizona. No reason to think more than one team gets in from out west. So what does that open up? Wildcard spots, and this is where I push back on McKenna's logic. If the NFC East is sending 2, and the West and North only send 1 each, that leaves at least 1 wildcard up for grabs. And in that scenario, the NFC South has a shot to send 2 teams, maybe even 3 if chaos reigns. Look, Tampa Bay is still scrappy. Atlanta added Kirk Cousins and could easily steal 9 or 10 wins. And Carolina? We're no longer the mess we were 12 months ago. I'll go out on a limb here. I think the Panthers can make the playoffs without winning the division. It's not the most likely path, but it's real. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Closing thoughts. That's all I've got for this episode. If you've got thoughts on Jaylen Ramsey's fit in Carolina, that ridiculous PGA Tour post, or where you see the Panthers landing in the playoff picture, drop them in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. And as always, this is just one guy's opinion. A skinny dude with 2 takes and a whole lot of heart. Peace out, Panthers Nation. Take care. Later days. And most importantly, keep pounding.